Thousands of students managed to crack Ipmat exam for IIM Indore. Surprisingly, not many of them are able to get the final selection. Now, what actually stops them? Is it the written test or is it the personal interview? So, in this video, we will break down what is it more difficult. Is it the written test or is it the personal interview? So without any further ado, let's get started and let's discuss everything. So let's just know what are the things that we are going to cover in this video. The first thing is the overview. We will discuss the overview of the exam and we will have the comparison, and then we will move to the final verdict. So overview, you already must be knowing this, and that is the Ipmat aptitude test is the first stage of your Ipmat exam. The second stage is a written ability test, and the last stage is personal interview, right? So your aptitude test is CBT mode and your written ability test is in the written format, and in personal interview you are being interviewed by the professors, right? So these are the three stages of Ipmat exam, especially if you are talking about IIM Indore, right? So if we discuss the written exam, right, so we have the quant section, we have VARC, right? So why it feels harder? Why the written exam feels harder for the students? So the first thing is it tests the quantitative ability and the verbal ability, right? It is quite tricky to solve all the questions, and it is quite tricky to comprehend the passages, the reading comprehension passages, and the questions are also quite tough if we talk about the Ipmat Indore exam. Besides that, we need the high speed for each questions, and accuracy is also required for this. The competitive cutoff also makes it difficult, and the negative marking in MCQs is also another difficulty, right? So in this particular stage, we require strong maths concepts, we require strong vocabulary, and we require accuracy in the reasoning portion, right? So these three sections are quite tough to tackle, but if we study strategically, then we can work on all these three, right? And if we talk about the typical difficulty that we have in the Ipmat exam, especially for the IIM Indore, so the quant section is moderate to difficult, whereas Ipmat Rohtak can seem quite easy if we compare it with the Ipmat Indore exam. And the verbal section is also moderate, but it's quite tricky if we compare it with the Ipmat Rohtak or Ipmat exam, right? So the conclusion is the written exam is harder academically, right? So if we talk about the academics, then the written exam is quite tough because it filters a huge number of candidates over there, right? So this is what makes the written exam difficult. Now the second thing is the personal interview. So what is there going to be in the personal interview? Let's discuss that as well. So why it can feel harder? Okay, so the written test feels harder if we view it as academics, but if we talk psychologically, then personal interview can be difficult for many of you guys because it includes the face-to-face interaction, and we often get nervous in such situations, right? And sometimes we can give some inappropriate answers, that means the incorrect answers, or we can we can be deprived of the appropriate answers for each questions, right? Besides that, the questions about the academics can be asked. Again, if it is a face-to-face interaction, then many of you may answer it incorrectly, right? So it's all about the confidence that is required. The questions can be related to current affairs, so you should have the appropriate knowledge of current affairs. You should work on your personality and your thinking ability if you are wishing and you're aspiring to crack the personal interview stage, right? So the questions over here are quite unpredictable if we compare it with the written test, because in the written test we know what are the formats of the questions, how the questions are asked, what is the difficulty level, what kind of questions are usually asked, what are the important things that we need to cover. But in the personal interview we are not at all informed about all these things. Now next thing is, as I've already told you guys that the personal interview requires confidence, right? So you have to act confidently, your body language should be confident, even your complete attitude should be confident, and there should be clarity regarding everything, right? Because the interviewers can counter question regarding any topic or any previous question that they asked, or any viewpoint that you gave while answering the questions. And next thing is, your clear communication skills are also required. If you are not able to express your thoughts, your views, then for sure you won't be able to crack the personal interview, right? So these are the things that you should work on if you want to excel in the personal interview stage, right? However, only shortlisted candidates are able to make there, that you guys already know. So interviewers usually focus on how you think. So that means the questions can be related to academics, but their focus would be, they will be more focused on the way you think, the way you are able to think on a particular topic and so on, and not only what you know. Okay, so they are not just going to ask the questions related to the things that you already know, they are just going to judge how you are able to think, right? So conclusion is that PI is mentally stressful but not conceptually difficult if we compare it with the written test. So these are the major differences between these two. Now the final verdict, which one of these is difficult? So if we talk about academics, so in that case the written exam is harder, but if we talk psychologically, then PI is harder. Okay, so we have two aspects over here, and that is academically and psychologically. So academically the written test is quite tough, and psychologically the PI is quite tough, right? So in simple terms we can say that the written test is a big hurdle, but when we overcome it and we are able to present ourselves well, then we can also crack the PI, and then we can make to the final selection. Okay, so these are the things that you should work on. And 80% we can say the written test is difficult, and 20% PI is difficult, right? So that was the final verdict. I hope this video was insightful and helpful for you guys. So to be a part of the LPT community, you can connect with us on these platforms, and we will catch up soon again on the platform of Ipmat by LPT. Till then, stay tuned, take care, and keep preparing. All the very best for your exam.